as us founders at Bluvo, we were building the most secure and reliable way to deposit funds from decentralized exchanges to the decentralized finance. So this goes out to all those platforms like yielding apps, uh, crypto native infrastructures that are looking to move the funds out of the centralized exchanges into decentralized finance, maybe casinos. So there's obviously a big array of like use cases, but that's what we're going after as in our one-liner is depositing from decentralized exchanges into decentralized finance. So we believe we're building a big part of what we call the crypto economy. And it's often looked as a problem a little bit in the corner. A lot of companies are focusing on the whole stablecoin, the whole trend that's rising in the latest period. So the problem we notice is that this comes from our personal experience we have a background in crypto trading, and what we realized that the problem is decentralized exchanges integrations are brutally hard. They're time consuming, they're highly resourceful for companies, and it takes a lot of time, not just for the implementation at a technical level, but especially in the relationship building of with the exchanges. So given all of these issues in time and high resources, because engineers have obviously better things to do and should probably focus on their like their actual core product, what we want to do is we want to solve that problem, and we want to build out basically an aggregated API that connects to all the decentralized exchanges and provides obviously the operational needs that a company needs. So if you're a trading platform, you may need to read balances, you may need to place trades on the behalf of users, and we can provide that for them. That's actually where we come from. It's from trading. Then if you're a crypto native infrastructure, you may need to play around with deposit withdrawals in and out of centralized exchanges. We can do that for them. So we're basically providing an aggregated API with the focus on deposits and withdrawals. That's where we're leaning into. So our product what it looks like is basically a widget that we have our own widget. However, we do like to give away our endpoints, so our backend as a white label solution. That's what a lot of companies like, and we're super open to that. Right now, also we support about 2 to 3 exchanges with a OAuth 2 flow, which has the best user experience. So users can just log in with their email and password without having to go through the whole API key, which is a big hassle for end customers, especially if they're not like super crypto. And we already been partnering up with pretty big names. I can't disclose that right now, but we've been signing off good amount of contracts, and our business model is basically a fixed fee, depending if they need white labeling or not, but it's usually fixed annual fee plus a per transaction fee. So depending on the volume they move, we can discount that, but yeah, so it's a fixed fee plus a transaction. The market here is pretty big and is definitely growing very, very at a fast pace. So right now we estimated about a 2 to 3 billion market like today, but it's definitely going to grow at around 8 to 10 within 2030. So that's kind of what we, that's our market sizing for now.
Yep.
And especially the flexibility that our company has, that Bluvo has. Now we're focusing on decentralized exchanges, but there's definitely a lot of space in the Web3 part and all that. It's just that we have a background in the centralized space, and we do see the pain, especially there. So that's what we're doing right now. The founders, it's me and Florian. I take care of everything that has not to do with code. So I do the whole sales, operations, marketing, admin stuff, while Florian is the head behind the whole infrastructure, the product, and all the engineering side.
Yeah.
For fundraising, we have already raised about $500,000, and I can't disclose with who, but we're looking to raise about 1 million for now in pre-seed, and the money will definitely go into the founders, and hopefully to on board, as I previously mentioned, our first like full stack engineer. We definitely want to we don't want to underestimate the security. So a security engineer would be amazing, phenomenal. And there's some compliance to do, which costs money, and the capital will definitely help out to close down some bigger clients. That's mostly it for for the pitch.
That's great. I mean, it sounds like you guys have already progressed really far.
We've been going pretty good.
Yeah, it's a really fast moving space, and I just wanted to ask. I mean, have any of those centralized exchanges you have as clients already asked you to join them internally? I mean, that would be the first question I would ask.
we did demo a couple months ago at Founders Inc. in San Francisco, and we did get some ex Coinbase engineers who wanted to, they have an eye on us. So we have been receiving some interest from exchanges on that side, and joining internally our project. But for now, it's still me and Florian.
Yeah, absolutely. So, maybe you've covered this already, but I just want to sort of reiterate: what strategies are you using to differentiate Bluvo in the competitive crypto?
Yeah. So this centralized space, the one we're covering, and we're bridging the Web 2 with the Web 3. So we're this Web 2.5. So there are a couple players. The one that stands out the most is Mesh with their Mesh Connect, Mesh Deposit product. And essentially, the way we differentiate is we're a startup, and we have a big advantage in using the latest technologies. And we notice that they have a big tech debt on how to build the product, and because they've been around for more years than us, and since we're pretty fresh, we decided to do things a bit more differently on the technical side. And obviously, I would love to have my technical founder to explain way better that side in the details. But but overall, the mesh, for example, which is the biggest one and the most problematic for us, they raised 130 million. By the way, they just announced that in Series B or C. The biggest differentiator is that they're leaning away from the centralized space, which gives us the opportunity to put our foot in the door, which we're already doing, and it gives us a huge leverage on moving fast, using the best technologies, working close with some top tier clients that do need a centralized space, and the fact that Mesh Connect is moving away from this centralized space, and the way they covered it isn't has we've been told it's not the best, and for being that big, it's very bad. And this just gives us the possibility to double down on the centralized space, and that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing it. And
sounds great. I mean, amazing stuff. Obviously these, as a startup, I understand there's times where things need to be built quick, and then when they're built quick, they're not exactly user friendly or very accessible to just anybody using them. So there's always a gap.
And we love developer products, and there's some, not even the crypto space in general, there's some companies that when you look at their website, the way they work, the people who work in those companies, that might not be the biggest teams, but they have they have the best products. They build the most developer friendly products out there, you know, and that's kind of what we're going for. Is we had this whole problem with our previous company, our previous crypto trading platform, and we wish there was a Bluvo out there. We never found it, you know, we never found it, and so we had to build it ourselves. And here we are now, knowing that there's a lot of companies that have these issues connecting to centralized exchanges, and we want to build it for them, and want to do it in the best way possible.
Yep. No, it makes sense. It's like everyone these days using AI, ChatGPT to ask questions. A year ago that wasn't the case, and all of a sudden everyone's
and now it's making a company, you know,
integrating easier and using APIs that make sense and speed up production time in terms of
we're doing nothing new in a sense. But, you know, we're doing APIs. It's probably the most boring business out there, right? Like, this is not a new like, we're not building flying cars, but we're doing something that hasn't been done in a sense in this niche, and we're doing, you know, and we want to do it good, which apparently seems to be not the case. If you go deep in the trenches in this niche, you will find out that it's not the case. So
yeah, I mean, I commented on one of your LinkedIn posts a while back where you were complaining about how bad the connection is with, you know, bigger teams. I won't mention who, but, you know, it's just
it's so bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, crypto itself, like the space, it's already, if you move out of decentralized and you go into the DeFi, there's still a lot of work to do. And for us, it's incredible how the centralized space, which is more regulated, and there's a lot more structure. Still, there's a lot of problems, communication, like bad product development, and hopefully we can kind of, you know, put a patch on it, put a small band-aid on what we can do, and yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't see taking away others' headaches is a good way to get traction and build out a product that makes sense. I mean, if it makes sense in that respect, then it's a done deal. Tell me, I wanted to ask, could you maybe share for our community potentially a way that you overcame a funding issue, a pain point? You know, you said you raised $500,000. Maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah. So the pain point for us in raising, I'll be honest, we haven't done fundraising at 100%. That's all that's all we do. We just need to raise. The way we looked at it has been, we're doing our thing. We're building our thing. We had our problem, and we're building the solution, you know, and we'll obviously continue to talk to investors who may have an interest in what we're doing. So for us, fundraising has been this 50%, because realistically speaking, yes, we need the money, but previously we weren't dying of hunger for the money. So, and with time, we found someone who believes in us, believes in what we're doing and what we're solving and the problem we're solving. And, you know, and they trusted us to give us the money. And, you know, we're obviously extremely grateful and all that. And we want to now even raise a bit more. The problems we realized the most in fundraising for us, the biggest problems we encountered is that if you're talking to non-crypto VCs, it will be extremely hard to get money. Like, unless you have some project, and I can't speak obviously for Web3 projects that have tokens and can, you know, like utility tokens that can do a bunch of stuff in maybe some different areas like healthcare, but tokenized. Like, I can't talk for them. But if you're dealing with pure infrastructure, crypto, it will be very hard, especially if you're niche, it will be very hard for investors to understand.
Yeah.
Even crypto investors struggle, you know. And I don't want to be that guy, but you hear a lot of times, you know, like, investors don't understand. Overall, in general, investors don't understand what you're doing. So it's not the easiest task to break down a super complex niche problem you're solving to an investor. So that seemed to be the biggest issue for us, is that we've been talking a lot And we realized this this last month, like actually a few weeks ago. It's like we've been talking to the wrong VCs. Like it wasn't them the problem. It's not they're not giving us the money. It's us that we've been targeting. You know, people who just, even if they're agnostic, you know, they invest in a bit of everything. They're just not the people to talk to. And so what I would say and suggest to other crypto projects is talk to your people. Talk to people who do understand immediately. Because if you can't break the first barrier of what are you even talking about, then it's gonna be it's gonna be impossible to raise. And we realized that unfortunately too late. But
yeah. Well, thanks for that insight. I mean, that's part of the use case of what we're trying to achieve, is taking that time-consuming headache, like you guys are doing with your use case, and you know, making the right suggestions for who people should be speaking to. I mean, that's essentially it, really.
That's a huge part. For us, like talking to some investors who it takes us 10 minutes to just make them understand kind of what we're doing. Like it's better off to do more research on your niche, on finding investors in your niche, maybe asking for warm intros, than just blindly talking to VCs and having a huge Excel sheet where you say, oh yeah, I talked to 300 investors, and you're crying in a corner because nobody's giving you money. You know, like it's better to talk to 20 tailored investors, maybe getting a warm intro from them, and you'll skyrocket the chances of actually raising.
It's that one conversation, and we all know it, but just finding that one conversation is the tricky part. I think we're saying the same thing. Luca, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Love your project. I'm going to keep following you on LinkedIn, on X.
Thank you.
I wish you guys the best. I have someone that may be interested in speaking to you about investment too. So I will connect the two of you somehow and then see if there's any traction there. Okay.
That's incredible. Thank you, Nick. And pardon again for the whole headache of.
All good, man. I've traveled east-west myself, and I know the pain. Well, I know the when you arrive, it's just like it's awful. It takes some time to get back on your feet. Totally. All the best for you and Florian, and I hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.